So you enter the league in the East, obviously going in with
Mm.
Shaq, and Michael Jordan is dominating the league. What comes to mind for you about that first matchup? Like BD, his first matchup with you is in UCLA gym,
Yep,
right? Like
yep.
what was your first matchup with MJ, and what comes to mind for you from that matchup?
Yeah, what was so crazy is he was retired at first. He came back wearing the
Ah,
Oh
45
wow.
that year. Yeah, so we was the dudes in the league. So when MJ came back, I said, "Oh, okay. All right. All right, I know what I got to do because at this point, this is my second year. I'm ready, I'm
Yeah.
rolling." And he came back and he came back with a vengeance, but that first matchup was I had to let him know right away because he was that
Yeah.
dude. Come on now.
Yeah.
yeah,
He was the dude.
MJ.
So I was like, all right. I took him right to the post, did what I normally did, and I was trying to put fear in him,
Uh-huh.
guarding
Hmm.
me because I knew what he was gonna try to do to me on the other end. So I was trying to hit first.
That's amazing, man.
That's
Yeah,
fire.
yeah. That was a battle. I mean, you know what I mean? Mike coming back 45. Like when you saw Mike in 45, was you like, oh, he ain't in the 23? You know what I mean? So
I I didn't recognize the
yeah.
45. I knew who that was, and I was like, he's gonna be a little rusty
Yeah.
early. But this is MJ to just be able to come back mid-season, bro.
That's
And he hit
crazy.
55 against the Knicks. He hit double nickels against the Knicks in the
Like the
Garden, just
second
coming back,
game.
right? Right. So I'm like, dog, all right, cool. So when he got into the building, it was 45. We was like, it's MJ,
But it's
but it's
45.
45.
Yeah.
But man, we played them in the playoffs right after that. And man, Nick Anderson stole his ball and we won the game off a steal. He came back the next game in the 23 and beat us. I was like, oh,
Oh,
oh, he won
That's
the
he switched.
23 next
Oh,
crazy.
game.
wow.
He switched his jersey. He said, I'm out of the 45 and work. When he took his jersey off, everybody saw 23 and he looked in the crowd like, yeah, I'm gonna show y'all.
Uh-huh.
Show
That's
y'all.
That's
And he
crazy.
crazy.
beat
That's
us that
That's
game.
legendary.
He
crazy.
beat us that game. Game two.
To even have the NBA approve that is
Right.
crazy in
Hey,
itself,
bro.
There wasn't no
man.
rules like that. And that's MJ. He didn't care what David Stern, rest in peace, was saying,
Yeah.
bro. He was like, I'm rocking this.
Oh my
Like, y'all got all
God.
these rules
That's
today.
savage.
None of that was going on back in the
Hey,
day,
that's
bro.
savage. In mid-series, he changed his number. Let me get back.
That's insane.
Yeah, y'all wind up
That's
y'all wind
so
up
so
getting
you
him though.
They won game two, and we went to Chicago and won
Yeah.
games 3 and 4.
Yeah, y'all wind up getting him. That was an epic moment. You know what I mean? I feel like that kind
yeah,
of puts you in a whole nother stratosphere.
Oh no, it did. Big Mike is what they call him in Chicago. When you beat Big Mike,
Uh-huh.
then you know you're doing something.
Big Mike.
Big
Y'all
Mike.
you played you played against MJ, you played against Cole, and I think you played against Bron, right?
Against who? Bron. Y'all played
Bron.
Bron, and I played against Magic.
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
I played against
That's
Magic. He came
insane.
back. He came back for a couple games, and then he went right back
Uh-huh.
out. He didn't even stay. He came back during that season, so I got a chance to play against all those dudes,
Wow.
man.
So tell me, like those guys, a lot of people talk about those guys being in the GOAT
Uh
conversation.
huh.
How do you look at that? Like, what do you if you say, this guy's the best or that guy's the best? How do you look at the whole GOAT
Because
conversation?
I view it differently, right? Because LeBron got the
Mhm.
numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You got MJ who had this innate way of just hitting 50 whenever he wanted and was
Yeah.
crazy with it and winning championships, undefeated in
Mhm.
finals. And then you
Yeah.
had Kobe who mimicked MJ, who had IQ, who had toughness, and who had shot making
Mhm.
ability and won championships himself. So I put them in those categories. So LeBron is the numbers guy. He got the numbers.
Mhm.
Like that's the
Yeah.
guy. You got to give him that. MJ being a guy undefeated in the finals, a guy that was, first team all defense. I can't remember how many times. I mean, come on, man. That's the GOAT to
Yeah.
me.
For sure. For sure.
And then Kobe being a fearless warrior and champion who mimicked his game after MJ. It's like you gotta have all of them 1A, 1A,
Mhm.
1A, but in their own
Mhm.
different ways. To me,
Right.
and I'm not being political on that because LeBron is a power forward pretty much. Kobe's two guard, MJ's
Yeah.
two guard, but Kobe mimicked his game after MJ, and Kobe did a hell of a job
Hell
mimicking that
yeah.
dude and getting it done.
He did.
Kobe did
He
a
was a
hey,
dog. Rest in peace to Kobe.
he did a
It's crazy.
hell of a job carbon copying MJ.
That's a fact.
It's like that. It's almost like you're trying to carbon copy the impossible. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah.
And to actually do it.
So yeah, and to do it. So what Kobe had, what MJ had over Kobe was so different, or I should say, Kobe's approach versus MJ's approach. MJ was like, I'm giving all y'all at 70. Like, if I go to Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, he did that 50-50-50. I don't know how, 2 or 3 times in his career. Think about going 50-50-50, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas. What Kobe did when he had problems was, I'm marking Penny Hardaway down on my list. I'm marking Baron Davis down on my list. I'm putting Gary Payton on my list. I'm putting all these top dudes on my list, and I'm going to knock them off one by one. MJ never said, he said, I ain't doing none of that. I'm just coming in and I'm killing y'all. So Kobe had to start off a little slower. Rookie year, he kind of struggled a little bit, beat a year in LA. And then you knew he was coming though. But he made this list of names, and boy, did he scratch off all. He scratched all the names off that list.
He did. And then, man, I want you to talk about, because to me, like, you see Magic Johnson, and then the next iteration of somebody that's 6'8", 6'7", with dimes, offensive talent, leadership. Like, the next version was Penny Hardaway. How much of an influence did like Magic have? You know what I mean? Or who are some of the people that you pattern your game after, coming up?
Yeah, it was strictly Magic for me, because how he approached the game. You're talking about a fierce competitor. You're talking about somebody that was happy to make everybody else better. You're talking about somebody that was going to win at all costs. Champion, did whatever it took, played 5 spots in the NBA. Who can say one guy played 5 spots like that throughout his career? And he was a PG, 6'9" PG. He wasn't the most athletic. He wasn't the fastest dude. He was getting picked up 94 feet by guys. He understood IQ on how to get the ball into a position when somebody bigger played him. He had all the shots. He developed the sky hook. He posted up. It was just ridiculous. So for me, it was Magic all the way, man, just watching him.
Amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to report a trade. Orlando has traded the draft rights to Chris Webber to Golden State in exchange for the draft rights to Anthony Hardaway and 3 future first-round draft picks.
All right, you were traded to the Orlando Magic for Chris Webber on draft night. One, how did you feel about the trade? But the biggest question, if you were not traded, you would have had a career at Golden State. What do you think would have unfolded as a Golden State Warrior?
Yeah, first I'll talk about being traded for my man C Webb. Shout out to C Webb. It was something that I auditioned for, because I was doing the movie Blue Chips in LA with Shaq. And I was with him every single day. And the blessing behind that movie is that we played real basketball. I don't think I took 5 shots the whole summer. I threw him the ball every time, like, big fella, this is what I'm going to be doing for you the whole year. I was being smart about it because I wanted to be in Orlando. And when I went to work out for Orlando, I scrimmaged with the team and took care of business. So I did really well there. And Dennis Scott and Nick Anderson were there. And I'm doing the same thing, getting them shots. And then whenever I had to kind of take over, I kind of took over. But really, I wanted to let them know, if I come here, I'm going to be that guy to find y'all and get y'all the ball. Now, the Golden State side of it with Nelly and Tim Hardaway would have been vicious as well, because being in the backcourt with, man, the Texas two-step, Tim Hardaway was unreal, bro. So we played one-on-one inside the arena with Nelly in the crowd watching me and Tim play one-on-one on my video.
Wow.
When I worked out for them. And we played like 5 games. It was just knock down, drag out. So he said, I'm going to bring the goon in on you, and he going to tell me if you can hoop with us or not. And Tim came. No, Nelly put Tim on me. He was like, you got to go get him. Like, basically, he brought Tim, like, I'm calling him up. So we played one-on-one, and it was nobody in there but me, Nelly, and Tim. Straight one-on-one in front of Nelly. Nelly sitting in the crowd just chilling, and me and Timmy going at it. And I knew I had to go at him, but Tim, man, much respect to Tim.
Oh my gosh!
Did you cook them?
You know what? I can't remember what the scores was. Honestly, I gotta ask Tim about that. But I know, hey, if we played 5 games, I ain't lose all 5 games. He was murdering the league at the time too, man.
Yes, he was. Man, that's just crazy though. I think about like my draft process, and like for you to say, my draft workout, I played against the team. Like with all these rules and shit today, you could never do that. But like what better audition than to see you get out? Exactly. So like what better audition than to see you get out there with the guys and play? Like
Yeah,
It's
they had their best
crazy.
defender. They had their best defender. I mean, who was Anthony Bowie at the time. That's the guy that they put on Mitch
Oh,
Richmond,
yeah.
MJ, all these guys, Reggie.
He was
And
cooking him.
yeah,
That's
my
my
dog, but I
dog.
had to
Shout
get it
out to
done, man.
Bowie. But he was,
Yeah, I was
he was
hungry
in the
though, dog. I wanted
machine.
to be there.